Good afternoon, all you YouTube and Facebook people. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to can green beans. I want you all to look at what I found today. Green beans. Found them up at the store for a good price. So I bought a few, quite a few. And we're going to see if we can get about 7 quarts or more beans canned. So what I'm going to do, they've been rinsing in this water to clean them off. I've done that a couple times, 2 different water baths. And so now I'm going to get busy. I'm going to go through, and those that need the ends picked off, like here, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then cut them up or break them up into smaller pieces. And I'll be back as soon as I've got that done. Alrighty, so after I snapped and cut the beans up, I've got a huge bowl of green beans ready to pack here. According to this bowl, I've got about 8 quarts of beans. So my jars are sterilizing right now, so as soon as those are ready, we will start packing these green beans. This is going to be what they call a raw pack. I'm going to put the beans in raw, and then we're going to cover them with boiling water. Alrighty. Alright, so I've got most of the jars already packed. I'm going to show you how I do this with a little funnel on the jar. You just grab a handful, dump them in there. You want to fill the jar up to leave about a 1/2 inch head space on it. I'm going to take my, this is a little tool for getting bubbles out or packing. I'm just going to pack this down a bit. So I use every bit of space I can in the jar. And then continue packing. Alrighty, let's see. Put a few more in here. A few more in here. A few more over here. And you just pack them real tight as you can, as much as you can. But remember, you want to leave about a 1/2 inch of head space up at the top. There went a bean on the floor. As my mama used to always say, ain't no use crying over spilt beans. That's the Rice family dry sense of humor for those who aren't aware. Oh, just a few more. Come on. Who can take just a few more? All right, I'm going to call that. All right. So now I'm just waiting on the pot of water to boil so we can fill these up with hot boiling water. And then we're going to put them in the canner. They only have to can for, these beans only have to can for, I didn't put a bean off the floor in there. There was another bean left in the pot. I'm going to throw this one away before I forget and put it in a jar. Beans are going to process in the canner, for me at my altitude, 12 pounds for 25 minutes. Before I forget, I'm going to add a teaspoon of pickling and canning salt to each quart. Not required, optional, but beans can be pretty bland. You can always add salt later, but I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt in each quart. Tell you what, I'm going to get a little bowl just to pour some of this out in. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You don't want to use regular table salt because that could discolor the beans. So invest in some good canning or pickling salt. It's a little more expensive than your table salt, but not too bad. So I've got my pot of boiling water in the sink here. I'm just going to ladle this into the jar. Again, up to about a ½ inch to the top. I'll go over and melt that salt right away. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and we'll put them in the canner. I'm going to wipe down the lid, or the rims. Make sure they're free and clear of any salt that might have got on there, or bean particles. This helps you get a good seal each and every time. Two more to go. Alrighty. Lids time. I can remember growing up, we lived out in the country in Michigan, in a city called Sandusky. There was a lot of farmers there. So they would call us when they were done harvesting their fields. And there was always vegetables and fruits left over. So they would call us and let us come over and collect cucumbers and tomatoes and strawberries and whatever that they had left in the field. They would call, we'd go over and get it. And that's where my mother learned how to can, and where she taught me how to. Well, I basically just watched her and learned that way. It's not something I really started doing until, probably in my late 20s, if that. But I always enjoy the process and the results. There's nothing like having some good fresh beans just available in your pantry. So, alrighty, so we're gonna transfer these over to the pressure cooker here, one at a time. All those beans ended up with 7 quarts of green beans. One more. That looks good. I've got water in there so it covers the jars by at least an inch. That's what we want. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it. Allow it to steam. You know the routine. Allow it to steam for 10 minutes out of the vent here. And then we'll put the regulator on it and bring them up to pressure. So while I'm waiting for that to start steaming, I'm going to have a little snack in the afternoon. Got some tomatoes I got at the store the other day, and it looks like a couple of them are about to go bad. I'll put 2 of them in the fridge. But I'm going to go ahead and slice these up a little bit thick and put them on the plate. A little salt, a little pepper, and just eat those as a midday snack. How's that? These look like really good tomatoes. We don't get those often here in Arizona. But these look really good. So I'm going to enjoy this while I'm waiting for the pressure cooker to vent. Alright, we've been steaming for 10 minutes. Going to put the regulator on it. You can see the valve has popped up here telling me that the pot is going to build pressure and that it's sealed properly. And I'm going to bring it up to 12 pounds and adjust the heat, and we will process for 25 minutes. Be back when they're done. Okay, so the beans have been in the canner for 25 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat. We're going to take it off the burner, move it to a burner that isn't hot. Oh Lord, that is a heavy canner. All right. And we're going to wait about 30 minutes for the pressure to drop so that we can get the jars out of the canner. So pressure has completely dropped and we're ready to open it up. I smell green beans. Alright, let's take these out of here and see what we've got. Alrighty, last one. I'm going to dump this water out. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Set this back over here. And let me show you what we got here. There we go. 7 quarts of wonderful green beans. They've already started to seal. You can hear them popping. These will be good in the wintertime. Put them in a pot, fry up a little bit of bacon or salt pork, and put the beans in, maybe with some little potatoes and maybe some onion, and they'll be good as a meal as themselves, or just as a side dish. Alrighty, thanks for watching the video. If you like what you saw, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and also please on YouTube click subscribe, or if you're on Facebook, please like the video, and I would appreciate it very much. Have a good evening. We'll see you later. Bye.